games between the Walnut Creek Crawdads and the Bay Area Admirals. First game is here at Monte Vista. The Admirals, in terms of run differential, with like a +9 run differential in those 4 games. So even though it has been tied, the Crawdads have won a little more convincingly in their victories, and so it should be a good one. Where he was a little bit of a concern for him, but overall he's been decent this year. He had one really bad outing against the Sonoma Stompers on June 15th, where he went 3 innings, 5 earned. But besides that, he's been fine. But the most he's pitched in a CCL game so far this year has been 3 innings. And as you'll see, the basically everyone is available in the bullpen for the Crawdads. You could see guys like Blair, Berggren, Hippensteel, Fitzpatrick, Cushing, Howell, and Nordell. So keep an eye out on that. But what do you see for E.J. McGrew in this game?
Well, you mentioned it multiple times. I think the key is control. You do not want to be walking guys. Especially when you have your fielders that are going to be out in the heat for a really long time. You don't want to walk guys and have your field be out there. Have your fielders be out there for longer than they have to. So on a day like today, especially when it's so hot, you just cannot walk guys. Can't do that.
Yeah, I believe this is the hottest game for the Crawdads so far this year. At least it feels like it so far. Depends on where you look for your weather. For me, I have it at 95, but I've seen it as hot as like 99. So, it's a hot game today. These guys are gonna have to keep cool, and it's gonna be like that this whole weekend. So, should be interesting to see how both these teams play in the heat against each other. But on the other side, you got Ethan Marmee, and he has really only pitched about 2 innings in each of his outings. His last one was against the Stompers, and that was his worst outing. Wasn't very good. 2 innings, 3 earned. He's allowed 2 hits and only 1 walk. Got a couple strikeouts in that one too. But overall, I did some research on him. I couldn't really find too much. It looks like he's coming out of high school, went to Sobrato, and he's going to Cal Poly next year. And so we'll see what he could do. But what do you know about Marmee, and what do you think he'll be able to do today?
Well, looking at his CCL appearances, he's pitched 2 2 1/3 innings, and that was against the Prune Packers. He let up 6 runs. Only one of them was earned though, so definitely a lot of errors. But total, he got 7 outs and 17 batters faced, which is not great. He had 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. So, it is the Packers, but the Crawdads are also a really good lineup. So, I think again, like E.J. McGrew and like most of these guys, it's a lot about not walking guys. Because if he walks guys, we've seen this lineup really thrives off of walks. So, I think the Crawdads. This is a very winnable game with the pitching matchup on the mound. So I like this matchup for the Crawdads.
Yeah, I think for both teams, it's really going to be a bullpen game. Like we talked about, neither starting pitcher has gone more than, say, 2 to 3 innings. And so you're going to look for, like I said, a bunch of guys in the bullpen for the Crawdads. They might all go 1 inning, or you might see a couple of those guys go multiple innings, but only time will tell. And neither team's throwing an ace per se. So, yeah, you talk about a good matchup for the Crawdads, but I think it could also be looked at as a good matchup for the Admirals. So I expect a lot of offense in this game. And speaking of offense, let's talk about the lineups. And so for the Crawdads, batting leadoff, John Gastar, playing second base. Then you got Brian Duroff. He's DHing. Ryan Brome is playing center field. Matt King in at short. You got Joey Donnelly at first base. Tyson Pointer in right field. Cole Fellows in left field. Sam Gilliam behind the plate. And Max Farfan hitting ninth. And when I look at this lineup, I don't know if you guys were able to listen to our pregame show yesterday. We had some technical difficulties, but we talked about how Casey Cummings is going to be not playing for the next couple of games, including yesterday and obviously today. And we talked about, well, how are they going to be able to replace that production? And offensively, one thing I said was that you could move Brian Duroff higher in the order, and that's exactly what they did. He's up to second in the second spot. That's obviously where Casey Cummings does a lot of his damage. And Duroff's been good in the CCL so far in 9 games with 31 at bats. He's got a 290 average. And so he's been looking at colleges to transfer to. Obviously, had a great season at Chabot where he had over 20 home runs. And, he's obviously a really good player. And so that's a guy who's going to get maybe some more ABs today, hitting higher. And then another thing I mentioned was seeing a guy like Ryan Brome potentially playing center field. He only did it once before this summer, but we have seen him in the outfield before. I mentioned how he had that missile from left field a few days ago when Flora was pitching. And so he's got a good arm out there. He's got some decent speed. Not the fastest guy on the team, but he's got some sneaky wheels. And so those are just a couple of ways that the Crawdads are able to, replace Casey Cummings, at least in this short, near future. But beside that, not just Casey Cummings, but what else do you notice in this lineup, Kobe?
Well, so yesterday they scored 0 runs, and really weren't able to get anything going offensively. Maybe 1 or 2 threats, but just were never able to score yesterday. But the last time they weren't really able to score was against the Stompers. They lost 7-1, and they went out and scored 7 runs in a victory the next game. So they will bounce back. I'm 100% confident about that. And this season they've only scored less than 5 runs twice. They average this. I'm just eyeballing it. They average 7-8 runs a game. So you're not gonna hold this. This lineup's not gonna be held down for 2 days in a row. Especially this pitching is not. It is not the Packers pitching. The Packers pitching is a lot better. And aside from maybe, aside from maybe Adam Enyart, who's closed out 2 of the victories for the Bay Admirals, the Admirals pitching is not necessarily their strength. So I think the Crawdads have an opportunity to jump out early.
Yeah, for sure. And something else I wanted to mention about this lineup: no Ryan Ellis. He's obviously an on-base machine. Has multiple hits in each of his 10 of his last 11 games. And so he won't be playing today, but John Gastar will be playing second base and hitting leadoff. And you talked about how they didn't have much offense yesterday. They only had 5 hits. 4 of them came from Gasdar and Ellis. And so those two make quite a formidable middle infield duo. Obviously, we only have Gasdar today, but that's also something I noticed too. And you also mentioned how the Admirals, maybe pitching isn't their strength, and one could argue that their lineup is their strength. And going on to that lineup, you got Kenny DeSalle, you got Santos, Gwynn, Ryan Pierce, Brock Rudy, Reese Kent, you got Tutorici, you got Grant and Sharf. I believe it's Sharf, maybe it's Schaff. It's Schaff. We talked about that earlier. And then, so that's their lineup 1 through 9. What do you notice?
Well, I noticed there are 3 guys that stand out to me in terms of what they've done over a little bit larger sample size. So Ryan Pierce, he played in the first game of the season against the Admirals, and he didn't play the next 2 games for whatever reason. He's hitting .444 with 500 on base and .711 slugging. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's hitting 4th today, playing third base. He hits the ball. I'm first base. He hits the ball hard. Kenny DeSalle, who we've mentioned multiple times, is the Crawdad killer. He's hitting 375, 452 on base. That's pretty good. And Wood, apologize. Let me pull up. Let me try to find his first name, real quick. But he is hitting 467 with a 529 on base. So
Yeah,
that's
Jared.
all. Yes,
Yeah,
Jared
Jared
Wood.
Wood.
Oh, and that reminds me, Jared Wood. Uh, he is a fantastic defender. Um, I believe he's playing. Oh no, he's not playing third base today. But
But we'll probably see him
yes,
sometime during this series. So even though he's
yes,
not playing today, keep an eye out for Jared Wood in the next couple games, probably.
yes, for sure, 100%. Those three. I mean today more Ryan Pearson, and Kenny DeSell, but when Jared Wood gets back, him too.
Yeah, for sure. And I just want to give some credit to Seth Gwynn in the third spot. Honestly, when the Crawdads played the Admirals a few weeks ago at Solano College, I feel like his name didn't come up as much as, say, DeSell or Pierce, but he's been putting in some work this summer in, let's see here. I just lost this. Oh, there he is. 318 average in 12 games, over 44 at bats, couple bombs, 8 RBIs. So he's been real solid for them, in the little bit of their heart of the lineup, if you will. And so, yeah, this is a good lineup. It's going to be tough for the Crawdads, who are rolling out a bullpen game. But hey, both teams are rolling with bullpen games, and both teams have a solid lineup. So it should be a fun one. As we wrap up here, Kobe, do you have any final thoughts?
Seth Gwynn, to go off that. Yesterday he was on base 5 times, and he also went deep for a second of the season. So watch out for him today.
Yeah, for sure. And so this should be a fun one. Got first game of a 3-game series between the Walnut Creek Crawdads and the Bay Area Admirals. And so first pitch should be in about 5 minutes. And Kobe and I will sign off here, but stay on this broadcast because you get to hear Carson Mercier and Austin Oda, and there's not much better than that. So thank you again for listening to the Walnut Creek Crawdads pregame show. For Kobe Siegel, I'm Justin DeHaas. Thank you for listening.
The Crawdads, a 2-week winning streak, but here they are after their first loss in over 14 games of baseball in their next league competition against the Bay Area Admirals. Welcome into the broadcast booth here from Monte Vista High School. My name is Austin Oda. I'll be joined alongside Carson Mercier. The Crawdads sitting at 15-4-1, once again riding a 2-week win streak until a 7-0 loss up in Healdsburg about an hour and a half north yesterday. To bring them to 15-4-1, the Bay Area Admirals come in 10-12, 8-11 in league play. The Crawdads will go with Cole Fellows in left, Ryan Broman center with Tyson Pointer, the right fielder. From third to first on the infield, Max Farfan and Matt King on the left side with John Gazdar at second and Joey Donnelly at first. Sam Gilliam will be behind the plate and EJ McGrew will be on the bump. Kenny DeSalle leads it off for the Bay Area Admirals. He'll be followed by Garrett Santos in the 2-hole and Seth Gwynn hitting third. The cleanup hitter, Ryan Pierce, may be the most dangerous hitter in all of the CCL. And then the catcher, it's Brock Rudy. Reese Kent hits sixth, the man out of St. Mary's. Casey Tortorici, who we saw last year with the West Coast Kings, hits seventh. Jack Grant, the third baseman, hits eighth. And Blake Schaff hits ninth. First pitch scheduled for 4 o'clock p.m., but as I love to say, it wouldn't be CCL baseball if we started on time. EJ McGrew, the lefty, steps to the bump out of Willamette University up in Salem, Oregon, just about an hour north of the University of Oregon in Eugene. It'll be Kenny DeSalle, Garrett Santos, and Seth Gwynn to start us off against the lefty McGrew. 1-0, 4.91 ERA, 11 strikeouts, 2.7 walks in his 11 innings pitched. He's been solid. Facing off against the righty, Kenny DeSalle, the Crawdad killer. First pitch from the windup from McGrew is a fastball, swing and a miss off the outside corner. No balls and a strike. First pitch, 4:03. Game time temperature is a hot 95 degrees. Dad's got a little taste of this yesterday up in Healdsburg where it was not cold. So the 0-1 is off the outside, a ball and a strike. Kenny DeSalle comes in hitting .375, a pair of home runs, 14 runs batted in. Just feels like he is constantly on base against these Crawdads. McGrew's 1-1. He has a fastball blooped into center field. Going back to the shortstop king. Coming in is Ryan Broman. It's going to drop in between both of them. And as Kenny DeSalle does, just gets on base against these Crawdads, it really does feel like he doesn't hit the ball all that hard against the Crawdads. He doesn't have many big swings, but he's going to find a way to put the ball between some outfielders, find them, squirt through some holes, and just get on base. When he's on first base, it feels like he's on second base. Then it feels like he's on third base because he's going to steal just about every time. Here's Garrett Santos, the second baseman, a .263 average, a home run, 8 runs batted in for the second hitter. Lefty on lefty, McGrew comes to the plate with the first pitch, and it's chopped to the left side. Max Farfan scoops to second, 4-1. Gazdar fires back to first, just a little late as Santos beats it out on the back end. 5-4 on the putout, and Santos replaces DeSalle on first.
A nice hustle there by Garrett Santos, burning down the line. Didn't hit it all that hard, right at Max Farfan. Nice turn going to second, just not in time back to first.
That'll bring up Seth Gwynn, .318 average, a pair of home runs, 18 runs batted in. Bay Area started the season as one of the hotter teams in the CCL, but has really cooled down, but coming off a 21-4 win yesterday. First pitch to the third place hitting Seth Gwynn is a changeup that finds its way to the outside corner. No balls and a strike.
Hey, EJ McGrew was talking pregame. Changeups outside. That's the game plan for him today. Let's see if he can execute it.
No balls and a strike. A relaxed stance from Gwynn. The 0-1 is just off the outside. Looked like a changeup again. 1-1.
Going back out there, sticking to the approach.
A ball and a strike. McGrew to Seth Gwynn. Here it is. Change up low, gets past Gilliam, but staying at first is Santos, 2-1.
Stop Gilly. Gilly always goes to work back there.
Every single day. Without fail. Saw Owen Firestone behind the plate yesterday. A little bit of a tough day, but it was just a brutal environment yesterday.
Yeah, Healdsburg is rough.
We learned that the hard way. 2-1. Fly ball to the right side. On the infield, John Gazdar, Joey Donnelly. It's Donnelly, the first baseman, that reaches out to the backhand side to make the catch for the second out.
Hey, usually if the first baseman has to take steps back, it's the second baseman's ball. First baseman has to come in. It's the first baseman's ball there. Donnelly holding the runner on. Sees that pop-up, goes back, calls him off. So unusual we see a first baseman do that.
Here's pretty easily the most dangerous hitter on this team. One of the most dangerous in the league, Ryan Pierce, hitting .444, 3 home runs, 17 driven in. First pitch is actually a pickoff move over to first. Back in safely is Garrett Santos. No score here in the top of the first. A leadoff single by Kenny DeSell. A fielder's choice by Garrett Santos, and then a pop out to Joey Donnelly. And here's the cleanup hitter, Pierce. Big, burly right-handed batter, hands held high above his head. Slight bat waggle. First pitch to him is way off the outside. Good stop by Gilliam as he goes to the backhand to snag it in midair. 1-0.
Did you do the first pitch time and temperature?
I did the time and temperature. I did not do the read, so that's all you.
Your first pitch time and temperature is brought to you by Meadow Lark Dairy, trying to hang on to that old town vibe since the early 1900s.
Good job.
Thank you.
1-0, fly to the right side. That'll get foul. Ball on a strike. McGrew to Ryan Pierce. No score here in the top of the first inning. Pickoff move back in at first safely is Santos. We'll do the 1-1. One ball, one strike, 2 outs. The lefty to the righty, Pierce. Defense pretty straight up. Slight shift to the left, but there's a changeup up high and away. 2-1.
Yeah, really trying to pound that outer half. If you're going to pound the outer half, great, but you don't want to leave it up. And we were talking about McGrew and his misses up and away to a righty, down and in to a righty. It's kind of the plane of his arm action.
2-1. Fastball grounded to short. Matt King scoops it up. Will flip to Gazdar covering second for the third out. A good first inning for E.J. McGrew. Works around a leadoff single by Kenny DeSell. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Still no score here on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom half of the first inning here from Monte Vista and Danville. Ethan Marmee, the tall righty, heads to the bump to face the Crawdads lineup that looks like this. John Gazdar in what might be his last game in a Crawdads uniform. He's at second base today before he heads over to the Cape Cod League. Big congrats to John. Brian Duroff hit second with Ryan Brome hitting third. Matt King, the shortstop, cleans it up for Joey Donnelly, the fifth place hitting first baseman. Tyson Pointer hit sixth. He's the right fielder with Cole Fellows in left hitting seventh. Sam Gilliam, the catcher. A little bit of a demotion for Gilly. We've seen him hit 4, 5, 6, now back in the 8th spot with Max Farfan hitting ninth. Marmy's first pitch to John is lined right back up the middle. Coming in is DeSalle. He will reach out, but not able to make the catch. A leadoff base knock on the first pitch for John Gazdar.
Well, we were talking pregame. Keys to the game. I have some.
What do we call it?
Carson's keys to the game.
Carson's keys. I love it. Please, I'm ready.
Keep the ball off the ground. Yesterday, double plays, killed some innings for the Crawdads. And on the defensive side, no leadoff walks.
I like them.
Thank you.
I was kind of prepared for you to have it be Mercier's musts. That's what we had it be at Oregon with Ryan Milano. He was Milano's musts. I like Carson's keys. Here's Brian Duroff. First pitch to Duroff is grounded to the left side, through the left side, a base hit. Back-to-back first pitch swings, back-to-back singles for the Crawdads.
Hey, it's on the ground, but it finds a hole, so Crawdads will take it. 2 runners on. Fleetwood Mac is playing. It's a warm day. The ball is going to be traveling.
I got a call at about 11 this morning. It was Ryan Brome. He said, Austin, man, got to change my walk-up song. And I said, I don't think you do. Here's Ryan Brome with the whole Brome clan in attendance. First pitch with runners on first and second, still no outs. Brome spits on a changeup down low, 1-0. He said, I want 4 seasons in F minor.
Brian Brome is more complex than he looks on the outside.
I would agree. Big chess guy.
Yep.
Big jump rope guy. Big Pokemon guy. Big hitter as well. The 1-0. Brome takes a fastball on the inside corner. A ball and a strike. Brome comes in hitting 270, 3 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Up there with the tops on the Crawdads. Big RBI spot here. We've talked all season long about how good the Crawdads have been in the first inning. See if they can keep that success here against Marmy, the 1-1. Off the outside and high, 2-1. Marmy came into this game with an 0-0 record, a 5.68 ERA in 6 1/3 innings pitched, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. A little all over the place. 2 balls and a strike to the big left-handed hitting Ryan Brome. Gazdar takes a short lead off second. 2-1 is up and away, 3-1.
Now it's go time for Ryan Brome. 3-1 count, get a pitch, don't miss it.
I've never seen Ryan Brome as locked in as he was today in the cages.
Yeah, he's not swinging it the way he wants to, and this is a guy that's going to work hard to get out of a slump.
3-1. Brome flips it to the left side. That'll get foul. 3-2.
And I just think Ryan Brome, when he's at his best, I mean, I haven't really seen him exactly at his best for an extended period of time, but I mean, everything that I've looked at, he crushes that. He does not miss that right there. That pitch is not fouled off when he's hot.
3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Runners on first and second for the Crawdads here in the bottom of the first inning. Marmy's 3-2 to the plate. Line drive up the middle. That's a base hit. Over to cut it off in center field is DeSalle. Gazdar being waved around third. He'll score an RBI single for Ryan Brome. It's 1-0 Crawdads.
How about John Gazdar, too? Before he even touches home plate, yelling some words of encouragement at Ryan Brome, and that was a pretty swing. Right back up the middle. Return to sender-esque. Beautiful swing for Ryan Brome.
That's a slump buster.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Matt King. Matt King, 0 against the Packers in 3 games, hitting cleanup in all 3 of them. Did not have a great offensive series, was tremendous at third base. Wide open stance for the righty. First pitch to him is just off the outside corner, maybe a touch low, a ball and no strikes. King comes in hitting 286, a home run, 15 batted in. The 1-0. King flips it to the right side. Ryan Pierce, though, is right there. The first baseman snags it two-hand style for the first out.
Yeah, it's just one that got in on the hands of Matt King. I'm surprised we didn't see some shattered wood, some splinters in on the hands, but still got a chance for Joey Donnelly.
Donnelly's been swinging a good bat. His last at bat here at Monte Vista, his last at bat in the summer was a line drive single up the middle that gave the Crawdads the win, the series win over the Healdsburg Prune Packers, the top-ranked team in the North. First pitch to the big lefty is a changeup off the outside and low, blocked behind the plate by Brock Rudy. The defense from left to right in the outfield, Seth Gwynn, Kenny DeSell, and Reese Kent. From third to first on the infield, Grant, the third baseman, Jack Grant, with Blake Schaff, the shortstop, Garrett Santos at second base, Ryan Pierce at first. Brock Rudy is behind the dish. The 1-0. Donnelly swings through a high fastball, a ball and a strike.
It's hot.
Yeah. Yeah?
I'm gonna add a key to Carson's keys.
What is it?
Stay hydrated.
Please. We need to do that on our end as well. The 1-1. Off the outside, 2-1. You have like full beads of sweat on your face right now.
You're getting there too. It's not quite there, but it's.
Yeah, I don't feel it, but I feel it. It's getting there.
Yeah. I think because I was running around trying to get ice for the laptop.
Right. Here's the 2-1. Donnelly swings over a good slider, 2-2.
Slider, changeup, whatever that was, it was a good one. You know, when you get a swing like that from Donnelly, that you're doing something right.
Now he's got to be in protect mode. The 2-strike count. 2 runners on for the Crawdads, already a 1-0 lead. Marmy looks back to second and comes home with the 2-2. Donnelly chops it to the right side. Over to get it is Santos. He will look to first and flip to Pierce for the second out. Moving over to second is Ryan Brum. Moving to third is Brian Duroff.
Hey, does a job even with 1 out in the inning. Puts 2 runners in scoring position. Brings up Tyson Pointer. Let's get Tyson Pointer going. It's a hot day. He's from Texas. It's hot in Texas. Maybe he's a little more used to this weather.
Marmy's going to work from the windup with good speed on the bases. First pitch to Tyson Pointer is way up high. A ball and no strikes. Pointer comes in just hitting 189. 2 home runs. 10 runs batted in, though.
On a line. It just looked like a good, solid round of batting practice. And I don't think that he's very far off from getting back to the 300 hitter with 10 home runs that we saw in the spring at UTA. So it's right there. I really do think it's right there. He's just got to almost get out of his head a little bit.
He's ahead 1-0. Marmy from the windup delivers a fastball on the outside, a ball and a strike. Don't hate that take.
Not at all. I mean, that's not really a pitch you're going to be able to do much damage with. Down, out, borderline ball. Still got 2 to work with.
Marmy's 1-1. Chopper to third on 2 hops. The third baseman, Grant, has it. Throws sidearm style to first and retires Pointer, and thus retires the Crawdads. A run in for Walnut Creek on Ryan Brome's RBI single. 3 hits in the inning, but the Crawdads strand a pair. We'll head to the top of the second. 1-0, the Crawdads lead. Top half of the second inning, 1-0 the Crawdads lead. It'll be Brock Rudy, Reese Kent, and Casey Turtorici. Brock Rudy wears a bright green helmet. That is not a good look with the rest of the uniform. First pitch to him is a fastball on the outside corner, 0-1.
Hey, I'll tell you what. He sticks out like a sore thumb.
It's
bold.
It's not good.
I respect it.
It's a choice. He made a choice, and it's a wrong one. The 0-1 is a slider. Rudy checks at it. Appeal to third. Yes, he did, says the third base umpire. I did not think so, but the Crawdads will take it.
Hey, really wish we could take another look at that one because didn't look like he went around.
No balls and 2 strikes. Rudy went 3 for 4 in his season debut. Here's the 0-2. Fastball, swing and a miss. First strikeout for E.J. McGrew comes for the first out of the second inning.
Uno, dos, adios. 3 pitches, you're done. Grab some pine.
Grab some pine meat. Here's Reese Kent, the right fielder, 333 average. Again, he's really turned it around since last year where he was not good with Sonoma. Just 4 runs batted in. First pitch to him here is a slider off the outside, 1-0. Crawdads are in their red tops, black bottoms with the pinstripes, black socks, black hat. Whoa, dugout warning. Speak your truth. Home plate umpire doing his thing there. A ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch to the plate. It's a fastball way up high. 2-0. As I was saying, the Admirals are in there all grays, red arm sleeves, white numbers, red Admirals across the chest. I like the color scheme.
Not a good day to be wearing dark colors, though.
Oh, the 2-0. Below the knees, 3-0.
Hey, battle back here.
It's Ron McGaff behind the plate. 3-0. Fastball outside corner, 3-1. The homecoming for Ron McGaff, by the way. Monte Vista High School legend. 3-1, down and in, ball 4.
Hey, it's not a leadoff walk, but it is a walk. Walks are bad. I don't like them.
So true. So true. Glad you said that. I don't even love them when the Crawdads get them. It slows down the game.
Kobe loves when the Crawdads walk.
Like, I'll take it. Here's Katie Turtorici. First pitch to him is down low, blocked by Gilliam, 1-0.
Hey, work back in the zone here, EJ. I mean, 5-pitch walk. Struck out the first guy on 3 pitches, bottom of the order. Some guys we haven't seen. They don't know what's coming at them. Pound the zone.
1-0. Pickoff move back to first in safely is Reese Kent. Now, Casey Turtorici, we saw him last year at the West Coast Kings. He goes to a school that was in my top 3 choices. Can you guess what that school is?
I know that Hawaii was up there.
It is not Hawaii.
Okay, not Hawaii.
McGrew's 1-0. Just a little high, 2-0.
Hawaii was in the top 3.
It was Oregon, number 1 always.
Okay.
Hawaii, number 2.
Okay, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I'm not going to.
It was in East. No, it was Ball State.
Was Ball State University in Indiana.
Yep.
The David Letterman School of Journalism.
Yeah.
David Letterman. Pretty easily the biggest alumni. Turtorici caught last year, now is DHing.
You know, a man of the name Happy Gilmore just committed to play golf at
True.
Ball State. Saw it on my Twitter feed.
I was there.
You were.
McGrew looks to first and the 2-0. Change up, swing and a miss off the inside, 2-1.
Who doesn't love a good 2-1 changeup? Look at that. Pull the string.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Love that pitch.
2 balls, a strike, and an out. Lefty. McGrew delivers. A changeup off the outside, 3-1. So a 5-pitch walk to Reese Kent, now in danger of doing the same to Casey Turtorici.
Yeah, you just got to battle. Just got to compete. McGrew's been working through some mechanical issues.
3-1, runner goes. Fastball on the outside, called the strike. And behind the plate, Gilliam couldn't squeeze it to be able to make a throw down to second, I don't think it would have mattered.
No, got a good jump. Reese Kent got a very, very good jump. Pretty much safe all the way.
Kent kind of knew that McGrew was focused more on the batter, getting a strike in. I don't blame him. A 1-0 game, but now the tying run in scoring position here in the top of the second. The 3-2. Slider just off the outside, ball four.
Andy Mack wanted it.
It was not particularly close.
No. Hey, back-to-back walks. Adding that to my keys to the game. No back-to-back walks.
I feel like if you add on to the keys to the game during the game, it kind of defeats the point.
Doesn't really make it keys to the game, but it's just one of those things that's frustrating as a pitching coach. Delmore does a good job with these guys. I know that these guys had a little pitching lesson prior to the game.
I'm a big Jack Delmore fan. First pitch is a changeup on the outside to Jack Grant. Not having the success he would have liked to have, the man out of Arizona. 211 average, no home runs, 3 runs batted in. The 0-1. Slider tapped to third. Max Farfan takes the high hop, goes to second, low, pulls Gazdar off the bag, and everyone's going to be safe. An E5 for Farfan. The bases are loaded.
Just a tough one, and I think Farfan got a little bit, I don't know what the word is for it, but he could have gone to third. I think he wanted to, and then decided, nah, I'm going to go to second, try and turn the double play, and got a little quick. Throw pulled off Gazdar from the second base bag. Bases are now loaded. E.J. McGrew has quite a hole to dig himself out of.
Here's Blake Schaff. Bases are loaded, 1 out, a 1-0 game. Schaff just a .250 hitter, 3 runs batted in. Bats from the left side. First pitch to him is off the outside, 1-0. I would not be surprised if we see a Jack Delmore visit sometime soon.
Neither would I. I think the key for McGrew is don't aim. It looks like a little bit like he's hesitant to just let it go. You just got to trust it. And
1-0. Change up dug out by Gilliam behind the plate, 2-0.
Trust you. Trust your body.